It's Christmas today.
It
I don't have
kind of
to
is.
clap. Well, I had an instinct to clap.
I put my tree up. Do you guys have
Oh, you're
trees
not
up?
gonna clap? I don't have. You're right. I need to get a tree, Joe.
Don't feel like watching movies, so I'll watch people guess them instead. I don't know how it goes. I think it starts with your show.
You haven't treed? You haven't?
I haven't, but
festivity?
I was like, I told Ellie, I was like, I'm gonna get a tiny tree this year.
You gotta do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Especially
I've never done
the tiny real tree is, I think, the cutest version of the whole Christmas tree.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that already, and I haven't even done it yet. So I'm excited.
Mm-hmm. Ellie, you guys got a tree up?
We do have a tree up. We have a tree up that we've had a tree up since well before Thanksgiving, which has
That's
never
how
been.
everybody-
Yeah, my partner has
Nice.
never been into Christmas. This year she was, and so we've put up a very big Christmas tree, and it's really lovely. I love it. I love Christmas trees. I love all of them. This one is an artificial one, and it does not look real enough. It looks too perfect. The shape of it's too cone-like,
Ooh.
and so I've been trying to go through and like I've looked
Chop
up
it up.
how to kind of and fold the branches in a way that gives a more natural look.
Wow, you're actually going to that effort just to give it a little
Yeah.
bit of a.
a little bit
Yeah,
something. I want it to look good. You know, I care about it. I respect
We
it.
here
It's-
in the
that's nice.
Beretta apartment hold.
a
We're gonna
visual.
get a tour here.
We go a little crazy. We go a little like
Oh,
Christmas
gosh.
threw up everywhere. So here's one
Oh,
area.
that's nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
I
a little
love
throw
that.
up.
I love what.
Oh, that's
Joe
that thing,
does here
remember?
with this.
Oh yeah.
He
I
got
love
that-
that. Yeah, it's
That
from the
was so
smash
cool.
from the smash apart room.
Yeah. Let me
Dude,
come
that's
over
beautiful.
here. We got some Fortnite, and then we go to the
Oh,
corner.
Fortnite.
Oh,
See,
baby,
dude.
baby.
See, that's
Ooh.
okay. That
What?
tree.
What?
Oh yeah, and the railing.
Family.
Oh yeah.
What's
You
up,
have a
family?
Oh yeah, then we got more crap down here. Okay.
Dude, the lights on those trees. You're doing the multicolored.
lights.
Absolute favorite. I got outvoted this year on that. But
Oh,
what?
big,
what?
big white lights. Very
Oh,
beautiful,
that's
very
the
elegant.
worst.
I
No.
know, man. It's too pretty, and I'm
worst.
I'm not saying anything about. But there's multicolored lights elsewhere, but the multicolored, dude. That tree, I love your tree, Joe. That is a
Oh,
very
man.
good tree.
yeah. Thank you. We haven't done the ornaments yet, but we got the garland and the lights, and it's nice. It's just like
Yeah,
it's nice.
love it. There's nothing wrong with
I
it.
got a candle lit right here. I never light candles. It's
Yeah.
Christmas time, baby.
I've been doing the 10-hour fireplace videos on YouTube that are pretty
Oh,
nice.
damn.
And they make
during the day?
Yeah, and they make live streaming ones too, which is cool because for some reason I like knowing that other people are also
Are
enjoying
watching
this like
it.
fake fire.
Hell
As you
very
get in the
fun.
chat, you're just checking
Yeah.
it out. I
You guys like this fire?
What's your guys' favorite thing about fire? This one
Trump.
specifically.
Trump Santos 2024.
Yeah,
Merry Christmas,
there it
everybody.
is. There it is.
Oh man,
Uh,
did you see any of the SNL clips from last night with Emma Stone?
I heard
No.
good things about it, but I have not seen them yet.
Emma Stone is officially like a top tier Justin Timberlake, Alec Baldwin, Steve Martin
Yeah,
level
she's great.
guest. She's so good. She's so solid. And her character work is as good or better than everybody else on the show.
Damn.
It's so good. She's so good. I highly
I've always
recommend.
loved her.
I love
She's
yeah.
yeah, she's never really had like a falling out. Like she's kind of just stayed consistently good, and I think just as time goes on, people are recognizing it more and more.
That slight little lisp that she has.
Whoa.
She's very
So
charming.
endearing. Yeah, endearing, charming, agreed. But they did a George
Just got-
Santos cold open, and it's just it's really good. It's next level.
Oh,
You should
nice.
check it out.
I did watch quite a long video. I'm blanking on the guy's name, but I also watched the reaction that Hassan Piker did of this like expose on George Santos and going into all of the ways that he lied and all of the things that he was accused of. And
It's insane.
it was incredible. And it is like I am fully I do not to not to jump on the bandwagon, but I do think that guy is hilarious and perfect, and I do kind of love him very much. Like they talk about how like it cuts to him winning or talking about like a voting fraud thing and the scarf, and it cuts to his cousin who's like, he stole the scarf from me, and then it goes into how he like had a dog adoption agency that he made up, and then he took a dog from a physically disabled veteran and said that he was going to save the dog, and then never gave the guy any money, and the dog ended up dying of cancer. And it's like cartoon villain stuff, and it is I'm fascinated. I love it.
It's the sketch they do highlights all of that. Like talking like great. All the world is so crazy right now. And we have become so accustomed to like crazy being okay. And because we've seen crazy not have any consequences for 6 years, we've just been like, okay, that person's crazy too. This is normal.
Yep.
What?
Normalized.
This guy's insane. This guy is legitimately insane. That
he said he was the producer of the Spider-Man musical, which isn't even a good musical. It was notoriously like dangerous for people.
What was he or is he?
He was he used to be Lula, is that, I believe, the Brazilian leftist president?
Lula. Yeah. Who? Not Bolsonaro, but the one that
the other one.
That is in power now.
Lifted tens of millions of people out of poverty and then was later put in jail from the other side. And then came back because of popular demand and became and he's great. He was a huge fan of him, and then he shifted to this kind of right wing thing, and then he won an election in New York after they redrew the districts.
Okay.
So that
what was he
to be more
elected
Republican, basically.
Okay.
Gerrymandering. And so he was able to win, and then I think it was Mitt Romney who came up to him at one point on the floor of the Congress and said, "You don't belong here."
Good.
Amongst all the other crooks and liars.
Yeah, exactly. You're just too much.
Yeah. Well, so what it came down to, Kevin, is that he basically lied about everything during the election. So the people that elected him didn't know who they elected.
Got it.
I love it.
And then just doubled down and tripled down and then became the victim in his own eyes. It's just good stuff.
They have a rule that you can't spend more than $200 for personal expenses from campaign finances, because it's an actual expense and you shouldn't be spending campaign finances. This dude racked up so many charges, literally between $199 and $199.99. It counted for I think 50% of all Congress people who have that amount of expense. No one typically reports that amount. He was going around and just getting up to the level that he wouldn't get caught to spend people's money.
Wow.
He's incredible, dude. He's like Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Which is a perfect metaphor and a perfect person to a point, a comparison, because the Catch Me If You Can guy also lied about every single thing that he did.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
It's perfect.
He talked about he would say things like the Steven Spielberg movie Independence Day. And he would just get things like everything was off. He's a treasure.
Wow.
So,
maybe I need to watch
I
the
will
doc
check
then.
that. I'm glad a
treasure to the tune of only the 6th person, I believe, to ever be expelled, and the first, and this is why he was here forever, that still hasn't been officially considered guilty by a jury of his peers. Everybody's just like, this is gotta go.
Yeah.
So it's potentially a dangerous precedent. Actually, we'll see what happens.
Here we go.
The precedent was set by there's a president that set the precedent.
Ooh, I love that Run the Jewels song. That's a great
I know,
lyric.
that sounds like, yeah.
It's the president that set the precedent.
Honestly, that might be a lyric from anyway, what are you guys up to this week?
Wow, we talked about George Santos.
Well, also,
he's the talk of town.
I love it.
Final note on George Santos. The dude, I guess, is taking a bunch of other Republicans down with him. And going on a Twitter rant about how he's going to expose all the campaign finance frauds that are going on with other people. But I don't believe him.
Just a petty, catty little shithead.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh my God. Looking good for him. God bless America. Tattoo boy.
Look at that.
Yeah.
New tattoo baby boys.
Are you happy?
I love it. It's really hard to see it right now, but it's very, very detailed.
Yeah,
it looks really beautiful, man. What is that? Is that a
It took
floral?
2 hours. It's a hand with a pen, a feathered quill pen.
Yeah, I love that, man. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's really cool. You said that's from the Arcade Fire?
Arcade Fire's funeral album.
It's very cool. That's the actual art from it?
Yes, sir.
Did you ask for permission from the original artist? Are you going to provide residuals every single time you put that on camera?
You don't have to do that, Joe.
You know what's crazy? You do.
Don't say it.
In some
funerals.
In some entertainment venues, they will be like, do you have the rights? Like if you go on TV or something, they'll be like, do you have the rights for that tattoo, for that image? And they'll make you cover it up if you don't.
I can see that. I'll get you there.
So you're just a walking George Santos.
I am a walking George Santos. It feels good.
You know,
feels good.
Yeah,
feels good.
I love. I was looking at the album cover that you got your tattoo from.
That album. I have a record of it hanging right there.
It is.
That album has got me through some times.
Yeah, I think it's really cool when people get tattoos of musical artists and stuff.
Yeah, and that's like my favorite album probably of all time. Like it's every single song I can like listen to the whole song and like be like, that was a great song.
Yeah, well, the wake up song will make me cry.
I mean, that song is my favorite song I think ever.
Yeah. And I know that's the stereotypical one off the album.
Which one is that? Is that the one that's on?
That's the one that you hear.
Yeah. Yep. I was gonna ask, like, what's the super significance? Because putting the art on your body is quite the step.
I know, dude. This one actually did like take some courage. This other one my first one was like so easy, and I was like done. But this one, like, I had to really, really debate it in my head for a bit. Because you guys both don't have them, right?
I don't have one.
No, we're pure. We will be in heaven. But, go ahead. Tell us about your sin.
Dude, I haven't even told my mom yet. She's gonna freak the fuck out. She's gonna hate it.
Oh, will she really?
She'll hate it. She hates it so much.
Oh, boy.
But it's like a protective thing. She's like, I don't want them to have, like, to hurt your skin. Like, that's her sadness with it.
I don't want my boy's skin to hurt.
Right.
Oh,
right.
She made all that skin in her own body.
That's true. It is kind of her skin.
So you kind of, you don't.
We don't need to. We got the whole 7 years. Remember,
Dude,
you're a different person. 7 years.
You know, when you do go to hell, I don't know. I'm pretty sure this is hell canon.
It is.
If you do have a tattoo, it becomes the thing that chases you around and constantly tortures you for eternity.
So the more tattoos you have, it's like you have a giant mob.
Yep.
That's a great.
There's a lot of hearts with arrows through them that chase you around everywhere.
Yeah, God forbid all those people that put on like their ex's name. They're screwed.
Yeah, you don't want to get followed by. So what is about the album? What is it about the album?
I told you. I heard that song. Remember the Where the Wild Things Are? That movie that came out.
That's the one.
Where? Yep. Mm-hmm.
Why did it really become more popular when that movie came out?
No, I only know that song because when I heard that trailer, I was like, this is one of the greatest trailers. And then I looked up the song and fell in love with it.
That's exactly what happened with me. So that's what I'm wondering.
I'm not sitting here with a tattoo.
I know, but I thought that song was popular before that movie came out or that trailer came out. Like Joe, had you known of that song before that trailer came out?
Maybe I had heard it, but at that time, that song started to get used for a lot of that stuff. Like
interesting,
like very artistic folks making very artistic visual media.
It'd be like A24 would be using it nowadays.
Yeah.
But that one was the biggest, and that trailer made people cry, and it was that song 100%.
Yeah,
it was. I think one of the prime examples of the trailer not living up to the
it was the perfect example of that.
Which I mean no disrespect to the movie, but I do think it shows the artistic value of trailers in general. But please continue.
Right. And then I heard that song, loved it, did the same thing you did, Elliot. And then I remember like one of my first CDs I got when I had first started driving when I was like 15 or 16 was the Funeral album, and I would just like put that CD on and just go on drives, and that like the classic thing. Oh. And then it's just like every time now I hear that song or hear a song from that album, it just like brings me happiness and like brings me like a will to live.
That's some big stuff. Too bad you just can't tattoo the actual song and hear it all the time.
All the lyrics, people do that.
Can't do you can't tattoo the feeling that escapes us as we age into oblivion. But also, dude, good for you for that being the song that you played when you were 15 years old. Because I also, coincidentally, earlier this week was like, what is... Because the Spotify Wrapped is like a whole thing. And I was thinking about how unoriginal and ungood, like just not good my musical tastes are in general. But how
number one Weezer?
Of course, dude. Of course. It was like, dude, this is so pathetic. They said to me that I was, this is not a joke. I'm in there 0.05% of listeners, and I'm 36, and that's not good. And I was like, well, what else? What? I was like, clearly my music tastes haven't changed. And I thought, where was I when I was 15-year-old in a car driving around my neighborhood? And I specifically remember the Nissan Pathfinder I was in and driving around being like, I can't go on the road, but my parents said I can drive around the neighborhood. And my album was 311 Sound System, and your album is better.
Whoa, wait.
Is that the one with Down, right?
That I don't even know if I know that album.
It's Come Original. That's the album. Down, I think, was the previous. Because I went back into 311 and I was like, well, they're still there.
Did you at least have Amber is the color of her energy?
Amber, I believe, is from Chaos, which is my actual favorite 311 album for sure. But the Sound System album was my 15-year-old driving around album.
1999 Sound System.
1999.
Come Original, it might have Down, but Come Original was a single, and that's like one of their bigger hits. And then Amber is their biggest hit, and that was from Chaos.
Come Original is really.
But you would never get a Weezer tattoo, would you?
Yeah.
I don't think I would, but
Elliot unbuttons his shirt slowly.
No, Kevin, I don't think I would.
It's not the W though. That'd be basic bitch shit. It's the entire Blue album cover.
Yeah,
colored.
And it's not technically a tattoo if I get a different henna or whatever that is every week.
Yeah.
Wow,
but no, you would not.
Yeah, but
it would not happen.
The Arcade Fire album is a less cringeworthy album to look back on.
There'd be people who would cringe on Arcade Fire. It's pretty artsy, indie.
It's white guy. It's white
pretentious.
Guy shit,
it is, yeah.
It was like award-winning white guy shit during its time. It was like,
dude, what white guy shit isn't award-winning?
Well, we got the title, everybody.
Oh my God. Clip it out, Kevin. Post it on every social media platform with zero context, please.
So the Valleyfolk hasn't posted a single piece of social media
on
content,
Instagram,
but they do want this one clip of Kevin saying what white guy shit isn't award-winning.
Oh man, Kevin dropping bombs. Jesus, that's so funny. That's great.
Joe, what was your 15 album?
Yeah, I was going to ask Joe the same thing. Okay. That's what I was going to try to do it.
So I don't think let me see. I don't think I truly started to like self-identify moments of my life with whole albums till college. And that's when the Postal Service Such Great Heights came into to play for me. And that was like, this is perfection. If you ask me what a perfect album is, it's this. And
the whole album.
Oh yes, the whole album. Would listen to it constantly. 15 before 15, it was every Weird Al album. I probably identify my personality to Alapalooza.
Alapalooza. Yeah. I was a Running with Scissors era.
Running with Scissors was a little later in high school, so I was starting to fall off a little bit.
That makes sense, age-wise.
Yep. And then the one with the one before that, what the hell is it? With the Nirvana cover. What the hell?
It was a Weird Al album?
No, yeah, it's the one where Weird Al
is it Off the Deep End? It is. It's Off the Deep
End. Yeah, because it was the one where he contacted him via SNL and said, can I please do a parody of your music? And Kurt Cobain said, is it going to be about food? And Weird Al said, no, it's going to be about how no one can understand your lyrics. And Kurt Cobain said, sounds great. Yeah, and then that night, Kurt Cobain went out and got heroin, and it became a very telling part of the.
Well,
you guys should listen to the Conan O'Brien interview with the Foo Fighters, with Dave Grohl, and then the other dude from Nirvana and the
Chris Novoselic. Okay. And Butch Vig, all of them.
I don't think it's Butch Vig. I think it's the guy who's like the producer. I could be wrong. I'm not familiar with Nirvana.
I gotta hop back into that podcast. I was addicted, but then I like just fell off, and I haven't jumped back into it.
I am gonna.
I love that podcast.
I am gonna do that. So I was making mixtapes at 15. I was dropping. I was like, hell yeah. I got this. I'm going to put them together and I'm going to make mixtapes. So what I was doing is I was driving around through the back country roads and like over mountains by myself, having my little angsty alone time drives, listening to very eclectic mixes of just crap that I would throw on tapes. So I had like the shitty Wild Wild West 80s song right next to Will Smith, Men in Black, right next to a song from Failure, which talk about indie white boy shit, everything. So I had the grunge era, my friends like influencing with that, and then I'd secretly maybe put like an NSYNC song on there, and then they would make fun of me, and it was good. Yeah. It was good stuff. It was good stuff. So everything, I was kind of listening to everything at 15. But that makes sense because Weird Al Yankovic, he hits so many different genres, and he makes you kind of a fan of a lot of different types of music on accident, and you realize, I kind of like all of this stuff. And then,
Joe, I gotta tell you, man, there are a few people who articulate that, but that has been my life experience, especially as someone who transitioned from like very contemporary Christian music to actual music. Weird Al was like the bridge that connected me to everything, and it was through Weird Al that I learned about like what Devo and like a whole 80s and 90s grunge, all his polka songs. I was like, oh, this is what the heathens are doing, and I was like, I'm gonna explore this more.
Kevin, did you ever have the experience of, and Elliott, did you as well? I ask you both. Watching late night television or whenever the time television, and you would get compilation CD collection commercials where they would be like, this is the ultimate 80s collection commercial. And it would just be like a huge box set. It's 15 CDs or tapes, and they're just slowly playing the words up on the screen.
Oh, shit.
You know what I'm talking about?
Why have I seen that, though? Like, I don't remember.
It's been parodied a million times.
Yeah, see, I don't think I actually saw the classic. The only thing I would get is Kids Bop, and now that's what I call music. Like, that was the two things that I would get.
Now, I think if now that's called music did commercials, it probably did the same thing. But it'd be like, here's 3 songs, and then the 4th song would be highlighted. And hello, and you'd get a little snippet of it. It'd be like, hit me, baby, one more time, and then it'd be on to the next one. So there's that experience of my childhood, which introduced me to music that I never really realized I was hearing. And then you hear that song on the radio for the first time, you're like, your mind just starts to frizzle and short. You're like, I know this song. And it's because of those. But Weird Al Yankovic's polka mixes did the same thing.
Damn.
You'd be sitting there listening to like the radio with your parents, and then all of a sudden it'd be like, wait a minute, I've heard this before, but it was faster and it was sillier and it had an accordion.
The one that comes to mind for me is the song "You Don't Have to Go Home, But You Can't Stay Here." That whole thing. That song I heard on Weird Al so many times.
Closing time.
Semi-sonic. Yeah, it's closing time. And when I hear it now, I inevitably think of
Yep.
He just exists. And he's with us all the time.
He's a great man. He's a great man.
Really is.
So that was my 15. You got that star. Oh, go ahead.
What about the album, Kevin? What about it emotionally? I understand. What did it do for you?
Back to George Santos.
Back to Santos.
What does he do for you emotionally?
What does he do for you? Because I can tell you, he does a lot.
He also claimed that he is your dad, just so you know, and your mom.
Oh, shit. This guy's crazy.
I can't wait till you guys watch the sketch. It's so funny. It's so good. And it's it's with Bo and Yang playing him, which is perfect.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Bo and Yang is next level SNL cast member to me. I love him so much. It's great.
I think I know who you're talking about, and I think he's very funny.
You do.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't want to say first Asian cast member, but one of.
Okay, then
no, not the first. I don't think. We'd have to look it up. We're not going to do that.
No, you guys talk about your thing, and I will find out how wrong or right I am.
Did you go to that light thing again at the Descanso Gardens?
Yeah, I did.
And how was
it? I did. Dude, it honestly was lovely.
Okay.
But like I have like a real not interest in doing things like that because I find them like kind of boring.
Okay.
But then when I'm done doing it, I'm like, wow, that's just like a pleasant, lovely thing to do.
To pass the time. Right.
But it passes the time. And I think it's about spending quality time with people, and it's a lovely outing.
Didn't you do it last year?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you knew what to expect.
Yeah, and not a lot had changed, but we went and it was lovely, and they had hot chocolate, and I will say, and this is not going to surprise you, there was an immense amount of like a little bit of weed that was smoked before going in.
I was going to ask this too, or was it just weed, or was it mushrooms?
No. We're gentle.
Okay,
but enough to be like, did a little heroin. Me and George Santos behind the dumpsters, and I was high, and then we were like having to just find hot chocolate stands, and at one point Grace just took. I wanted poutine, and then we just grabbed a thing of French fries, and
we're not gonna gloss over that statement.
Yeah. Well, they had poutine, and I was like,
poutine.
Yeah, I was like, I want poutine. I was like, that sounds crazy. I was like, let's totally get that, because if you're high, you're gonna want poutine. But then Grace was like, oh, it's right here, and it was just a thing of fries in a cup, and so she grabs it and she just starts leaving with it. And then they were like, oh, can you pay for it? And then she was like, oh, my bad. And then we were like, we thought we paid on the way out or something, and then we paid for it, and then it wasn't poutine, it was just French fries, and then we had hot chocolate and French fries, and we walked around. It's really lovely. It's a nice.
People really not knowing what we're talking about, it's like a Christmas light walk thing where you look at different Christmas lighting setups
in a botanical garden situation.
Yes, in a botanical garden setting,
which still isn't giving it probably its due. When he says light setup, it's like 9 or 10 different areas that.
Yep.
It's not Christmas lights. It's over the top, like almost Disney level light installations and moments.
Almost Disney level. Yeah. I think Disney I think that might be a little too kind, but it's really lovely.
I agree. It's not quite Disney level.
So you did
asking, do it. I did it last year, and that's what I was hoping you'd get to, is if it was better or less. So it's the same thing, which that makes me happy, because tonight, right after we finish this podcast, we're going to the other one in the LA Arboretum that supposedly is better.
Okay.
It's better.
I have an assignment for you, or a suggestion.
Simon,
do us a favor. Just do us a little favor.
I'm not going to take any notes or anything like that.
Just take your phone out.
Okay.
Get like 7 or 8 moments of you walking. Maybe you're in it. Maybe it's just beautiful moments, and then you set it to that song from Arcade Fire, and you send it to us.
Dude, honestly, I'll love to do that. Thank you.
It's gonna be amazing.
I'm gonna cry.
It's all just like Christmassy stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna be so good. All right, we're gonna play a game.
Yeah, next week.
Welcome to Is Bowen Yang the only Asian cast member to ever be on SNL? Let's find out.
All right, are we guessing?
3 white men know this or not. So first up, true or false? Bowen Yang is the first ever Asian cast member to grace the stages of 30 Rock and SNL.
False.
False.
Final answer.
False is a safer answer for many reasons.
Okay, these 2 men are not canceled yet. White boys still in the public zeitgeist, living their lives as they will.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
Way.
Bowen Yang is not the first
award-winning.
Is not the first Asian cast member, but however, he became its first Chinese American, first Australian American, 3rd openly gay male, and 4th ever cast member of Asian descent.
Okay.
All right, welcome to round 2.
Wait. He's the first cast member of Asian descent, but he's not the first cast member.
He's not the first cast member of Asian descent. He's the first Chinese American.
Okay.
And
Australian
Australian
said something after that.
Hey, Kevin, I know as a white guy, it's hard for you to understand this, but there's so many different types of people. It will just blow your mind. It's nuts. Like,
and that's
there's
where you
so
are.
many.
And that's where we'll see if you'll survive this second round of Will These
I
White Men
I
Be
can't wait to
Canceled?
watch that back because I gotta.
Kevin, if you think that's crazy, there are.
I gotta figure that out. Yeah, by myself.
All the colors of the rainbow.
Elliott Morgan, Kevin Plachy, you move on to round 2 of Will These White Men Survive the SNL Asian Gauntlet question of hell?
Yes.
Oh, who do you think are the 3 other cast members that had Asian descent in their blood?
Dude,
performed on
absolutely
SNL.
no way we'll get one of
well,
them
of
right.
course. Unfortunately, this is not my area of expertise. While I do love Saturday Night Live, I have always been more concerned with the comedy it creates and the ways it breaks down barriers across religions and colors and peoples than I have been concerned with the specific names of the cast members. So I don't know the names of the cast members. I'm so enamored constantly by the quality of.
Okay.
I'll
tell you the names.
Bobby Lee.
Bobby Lee was never on SNL.
Mad TV. God dang it.
He could never. No,
he could. Bobby Lee, I maintain, is hilarious.
He could.
I love Bobby Lee. He's my boy.
He's very funny.
He's great in Reservoir Dogs.
Been around forever. All right, so you know them all, and maybe one will surprise you. Maybe a little. Fred Armisen.
Ken Jeong. Oh.
Ken would have been great. Fred Armisen has Asian descent. Rob Schneider.
This is bullshit. I would never said that.
Rob Schneider's single greatest SNL.
You gonna finish that sentence? Single greatest SNL.
Singers.
Rob Schneider is one quarter Filipino.
Okay.
And then Nasim Pedrad. If you remember her.
Nasim, sure. Yeah, of course.
From 2009 to 2014. Was born in Iran. So there you go.
All right. Well,
there you go.
Joe, I think you somehow managed to make something worse than Steve's Hollywood Minute or whatever.
No way.
No way.
No way. Only if I make
You're right.
I learned something.
You're right. Steve's Hollywood Minute thing is worse.
You learned something today.
That's true. That's exactly correct. Yeah. No,
and he made it a game too.
Exactly.
Come on now.
We were allowed to be involved. That was cool.
You survived, and you're not canceled.
Thank
too. You guys played the game perfectly. I love it so much.
Okay. Well, thanks everybody.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, actually, we could keep this going. I got nothing to do. I mean, what are you guys up to?
I told you, man. I'm going to see Lights, man.
Yeah, I need to go see the Lights.
Okay, you're going to the different one. What are you going to do for the rest of the night, Joe?
I'll probably monitor my fantasy football teams because I'm at the point where if I lose this week, I could potentially have to do the punishment of the league, and it's not great. It's not great. I'd either have to stand at the bottom of an off ramp with a sign that says I suck at fantasy football for like an hour.
Oh, that's funny though.
Whoa,
how funny. That's great.
Or if you don't want to do that, there's like a donate to the charity of the winner's choosing. And
oh, cool. So that's like a monetary thing.
Yeah, and then I'm like, that's money. That's tough.
Yeah, so you're gonna stand out. I know you, Joe, and you're totally gonna stand out by the end.
But I think I'm winning, so I'm not gonna have to worry about it. So I'm good.
Right. I have a bye week right now on my fantasy football, but my players are crushing it because I have all the 49ers, and so I'm very excited for them. And also, have you guys?
I don't know why it's just funny when Elliott gets into it.
Yeah, no, I legitimately can tell you McCaffrey's got 25 points. Purdy's doing really well.
Dude, he's only into it because he's got an amazing team. If he was getting throttled right now, he'd never bring it up.
Correctamundo, Joe. Also, have you guys emailed your representatives, because I have this morning, regarding the passing of the UAP Disclosure Act, which is going up for vote very soon.
I'm glad you brought this up.
You can, of course, go to, I believe it's New Paradigm Shift or something, but find your representatives and, of course, let them know that it's a bipartisan effort to include more transparency.
Is it pretty, inevitable that that it seems like it's going to be smashed down again?
No, it seems like it will potentially pass, but they're making significant changes to it that might essentially neuter it. And so, it's an interesting development. It is also wildly entertaining because it is the I don't know if you guys watched anything of the the political the UAP people, the Burchett and Matt Gaetz and Luna, I believe is her name. And there's Berkowitz, I think, is a Democrat, and some other Democrats, and they came on the mic and they basically were like, we're gonna get to the bottom of this, and it's so a movie. Where you're
almost 100% of you should dislike Matt Gaetz, but when he does this shit, you're like, I'll give you 1.1%. I'll give you 1 point.
It's like the Santos thing, where I'm like, you're just a little rascal, aren't you? All right.
Oh, this is the other thing I'll probably be doing once the kiddies go down. I'm gonna read this.
Dude, right?
I'm gonna read this.
Harar,
good book.
Are you trying to read?
Folks about it, Joe.
I am trying to read.
Dude, me too.
This is like a beloved, and you could probably tell more because you've read it, Elliott, right?
I have read parts of it. I know the gist. It's about different stages that our species has taken
of human history, and the guy, yes. And he's able to. The way he writes is a very. It's like eating a dense cookie that's really delicious. Nice. Like you get a lot from it, but it's really easy to put down.
How did you find it?
What drew you to? A lot of my friend Tyler Jacobson, who is the most talented man that we know. He suggested it a couple times, and then somebody else did, and then the word sapiens just got stuck in my head, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it a shot because I do want to read a lot more. Because
really good choice.
Computer staring has taken over my life, and I hate it.
Yep, I'm right there with you. That's exactly what happened with me. Except I got a fiction novel by Neil Gaiman.
Oh, which one?
That man?
Yes. Sandman.
Neverwhere.
I think I've heard of that as well.
Never heard.
Damn it! You guys were supposed to say good things about it. Now I'm scared.
Sounds great. A cool title.
Thanks, man. I'm excited to read it.
I did not know that he wrote Coraline.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, I know the name, and I know nothing of what he's actually written. I just know he's highly acclaimed.
People love him. Like there's a Neil Gaiman niche, and it all goes back to Sandman.
Is that what it is? Sandman
starts there, and then it reverberates out, and he's done a lot of cool stuff.
I think it's great that you're doing fiction, dude. Fiction is so fun. Reading fiction is the best thing.
I'm wanting to just read stories.
Yeah.
That's where I'm I want to get through a book. I think I've probably read 4 books in my entire life.
You don't need to have you don't need to have a minimum. A lot of people start at 0. Most people start at 0.
Well,
that's mind-boggling to me. I don't read at all. And I've read so many books.
Dude.
I've read so many books, Kevin.
What, though?
Kevin, what is wrong with you?
Dude, I'm not joking, though. The only books I feel like I've read from start to finish were when we would have to do books in school. I've never read a book on my own time.
You're not alone, I think.
I don't think I am either.
When it hits you, though, dude, it is like you feel like, first of all, a rebel, and you'll feel alone. No one else is ever doing this. And then it will connect with you in a way, and you will go, oh, I don't know why I wasn't reading all the time. It is the greatest activity. It is wonderful.
Because I read something recently that was like, because I've always been bad at reading, it felt like, and I read somewhere that it was like reading is somewhat of a skill, and you're going to suck at it at first, and it's not going to be fun, and like just try and take it slow, and then you'll slowly get better and better. And I was like, okay, if I could approach it like that, I might have a better chance of falling in love with it a bit.
Nice. That's an interesting take on reading. I really like that. It's effort.
Yeah. There's something about it feels
at least at first.
Yeah, at first maybe. The skill part, I think, feels like, I don't know if it's a skill, because I feel like I'm still bad at it. I don't feel like I'm quick at. Maybe I'm confusing being a skillful reader with a quick reader. I'm very slow to read. Like, I'm so slow.
If you're taking in the information and remembering and not doing the thing that I do, where I'll be like, I've just read 4 pages and I was not present for any of it. And I have to go back.
That's the skill. That's right. That's the skill. Yeah. It does take. You have to go like, oh, I didn't read that paragraph, and you have to forgive yourself, and you have to go, let me read it. Oh, I didn't read it again. Okay, great.
Yeah. And that's
really weird.
95% of reading for me right now is just constantly not just being off the page.
Kevin closes a book and then just goes, oh! What? Where am I?
Moby Dick was the whale.
I find that of all like the mediums that we indulge in, it's like watching a movie. You can get really like infatuated with and ingrained in the story, and then when it's over, you're like, oh, that was great. I really like that. I'm gonna do that again sometime. But you don't walk away from it really going, I wish that never ended. Sometimes with a TV show, you might feel that way. When you play a video game, you're so into it. You're into the story. You feel like you're part of the story, and you'll walk away from some video games being like, fuck, I really wanted that to never end, and now I'm really mad that it did, and I want to try to replicate that experience. I don't think anything is as strong as when you read a great book that you love and you close that final, like you turn that final page and there's no more words. That can be such a melancholy feeling.
It's beautiful.
Damn.
I know. Well said, Joe.
I don't think I've ever had that feeling, man.
Really?
That's why it's hard for me.
Well, Kevin, you've never read a book. Like
yeah. Yes.
I hate to tell you this.
Yeah, most people want to not read The Crucible any more than they have to.
Right. That's fair.
And since that's like what, the 3rd book you read, like you're in a bad spot. What a sad journey you take when you read The Crucible. Man,
dude, what you're talking about though, that last, especially with a fiction book. So I'm curious. I hope you stick with this, Kevin, because I'm curious about your last page experience. And if it confirms what Joe was saying, because
I've also heard that if you're like, isn't there like a certain amount that you're supposed to get into, and then if you're like still just like, I do not like what's happening at all, you can set it down and try a different one?
No, if you start a book, you have to finish it or you go to hell.
Yeah.
I'm already going, man.
And then that book chases you next to your tattoos.
Oh, shit.
Here, I have an assignment for you, Kevin. 2 assignments, 1 podcast. On that final page, when you know it's the final page, I want you to turn on that song from Arcade Fire
and record myself. Yeah.
I think what we're beating around the bush on is that song is perfect for every occasion. So Wake Up is an incredible song. Also, though, I do not worry so much about. Don't think if you don't like it at a certain page that means it's some law that you got to put it down. But you can put it down after the first sentence. Like you don't have to. There's no rules.
Well, there is one
rule. That wouldn't.
Which is finish the book, or you.
Well, that's rule number 1. Rule number 2 is that if you really do not like the book, you have to burn it.
You do.
Okay.
And record it playing Wake Up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Damn.
Anyway. Dude, I'm really excited. I'm excited to hear about your experience with it.
You should live stream.
I hope I can update you.
Do people do that? Did anybody live stream reading a book? Could you do that, Kevin? Would you be the first?
People have done that.
In a hot tub?
Oh, Elliott's showing his
What is this shit? You're not reading all of those. That's insane.
I'm sure he is, dude.
I've read
Look
this
at this
one
guy's
already.
bookshelf. This guy has a bookshelf.
This one I'm reading. These are Native American tales about coyote.
Oh,
it's crazy. These are like, if you want one like really fun, dude. Well, did you not expect me to say that, Kevin? Did you not expect me to bust out with the Native American coyote?
And then Joe's reaction to it was so.
Oh.
I was immediately
like, what?
Like, oh.
Native Americans and the coyote?
Yeah, man. It's called Giving Birth to Thunder, Sleeping with His Daughter.
If I had to read that, like, there's no way I would want to sit down and read that. That sounds awful.
Yeah. Why'd you grab
out
that?
Of your mind.
What happened? Why'd you grab that book? Why are you reading that book?
Literally part of my dissertation.
Okay.
Okay. It's assignments.
Oh, the tone change.
Yeah, it's not fun reading.
It's incredibly fun reading, dude. There's a story. Dude, coyote. Are you guys not familiar with the Native American coyote myths? They are some of the most insane stories in the world.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for saying that, because I need some convincing on why this is a book.
They're like ancient tales about coyote, Kevin, and the coyote was a little goofball and would run around and do insane things. There's one about how he farted so much. He started farting to an amount that his body, the flatulence forced him into the sky. And that's like how we get the stars. That is a joke, but it's not that far apart. He farts so much that he bounces around the land.
Just like a little piece of coyote popcorn. Just right over the plains.
This one I started reading today. It's called "We've Had 100 Years of Psychotherapy and the World is Getting Worse."
I like that title.
I've always blamed psychotherapy.
That's a good one, right? That's fun.
From the start. Wait, so those are all for, you said, your educational journey. Is there any book that you're reading primarily for fun?
For fun.
Is your reading just tapped out because you have to read so much?
It's a nice mix. I don't know if there's anything that's particularly fun to read. That's not a fiction one. I do want to get back into reading. I mean, these are fiction in the sense that they're like old myths, but you have to have like they're in it's a different thing. But like the old like fiction, like Stephen King and
storytelling,
that kind of stuff, I do miss. I want to read that kind of thing. I do a lot of audiobook stuff like that, but I don't know. I don't have any like fun. It's all educational in some.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Damn, like boring in some way. That coyote book is probably the most fun.
Yes, and it is quite fun, but it's also still kind of like, oh, this is so weird. Like it's so weird, and so it's like very much like I got to really force myself to make it through some of them, even though the tales are like 3 pages long, and that's where I go, I didn't read any.
That's nice.
Like this is like 100 stories.
Those are like little dopamine hits if you're doing it right. Just like, oh yes, it's done. Woo, chapter 1.
But how far are you into Sapiens, dude? Have you started?
Just starting. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep, but it's good. It's you can tell. I don't know. It should be so boring, but it's not. It's fascinating.
I think he's great. He gives context, and he's great on Instagram. As
great storyteller, and you can tell there's like a little bit of like there's a little air of like kind of like, you know what? Fuck you if you don't really think that humans did like evolved from apes. Like if you don't, like, fuck you. Like this is so normal. Yeah. He's like, you can tell he's just like so matter of fact about it. He's like, this is the way it is.
You're an idiot. Yeah.
Fucking idiots. Don't let's move past the silly stuff real quick.
Yep. It's great. Like if you think I think you might even have a sentence that's along the lines of like, if you think humans have always been this version of humans, you're a fucking idiot. Like it's great. And there were 7 different types of humans walking the planet at one time, and as soon as you read that sentence, you're like, "Ooh, this is fun." And then
cool, yeah. They're always finding new archaeological evidence that we were definitely accompanied by other people like us.
Who start crossbreeding.
That's scary.
That is scary. What if they're still out there?
That's what I'm saying, man.
Giants.
Yeah. Anyway, think of that. Giant. And full circle, giant.
Dude, we did it. I feel it in my bones. It's the end of the podcast.
And we didn't even get to talk about the Enneagram yet.
Oh, God.
What the fuck are you talking about? What?
Elliott knows.
I don't know.
I wanted this episode to be all about the Enneagram.
I don't have to. What are you talking about?
What's that?
What's your thing with the Enneagram?
You know what the Enneagram is?
I do.
What?
I think I'm like a 7 or something.
Are you really?
I don't know.
Wait, is this the personality? What is this?
Years. It's another personality test.
It's a personality test. Dude, I've been getting so into it. That's why I said it.
I believe those things have a lot of truth in them, and I think they get a bad rap, but you have to recognize that it's a roadmap and not a container in which you have to live. So you can't reduce people to those categories. Okay.
Yeah. Bye.
You can't be like, I'm an Enneagram. You know, people are ever changing, and there's multiple factors. Why are you into Enneagram? Why are you bringing this up right at the end? Because you know I'm going to be interested.
That's why. Because I knew it would be great. It's just a cliffhanger, man. Next week we're going to talk all about the Enneagram test.
It's the same as like when you're in a room with like, it's like you, and there's like 5 people, and maybe you're meeting one of them for the first time, and they immediately go, "Oh, when's your birthday?" And you go, "November." And they go, "Oh, you're a Scorpio." And then they automatically
dislike that comparison.
Really think they know you?
I dislike that comparison.
You dislike that comparison?
I dislike it.
Mm.
But I know a lot of people.
That's very Pisces of you.
Capricorn of me to say that.
Are you disagreeing with the comparison because it includes astrology, or because it implies that the Enneagram is reductive in some way or boxes people in? I don't have anything to do. I'll be here all night. You're the one who has Christmas lights to go see, so I got time.
I know that there's a lot of people that believe in the astrology stuff, and I think there's no good evidence with the astrology. Like, there's no like good research backing it up.
Okay.
Where do I begin? He read the Coyote book. He knows how the stars are made. Let's go.
Coyote once said.
Okay.
So you think the Enneagram differs in the sense that it is, first of all, I disagree with what you're saying about astrology, not in terms of evidence, even though there is evidence for it, but definitely in terms of like, you know, quantitative evidence for sure. But Enneagram, why are you interested in Enneagram? Like, why, and also what are you like, and you took the quiz, and then you have a number, right?
Yeah, that was what surprised me, was I was a 3, which is like a performer.
And a pervert.
Right.
And then I was just like kind of confused, so I wanted to like read into it. And I wanted to read into why I was a pervert and how I could grow from that.
Don't we all?
And why? Enneagram. ENN. Oh yeah, there it is. Oh, there's the numbers.
I think they're all great tools. Astrology, Enneagram, Myers-Briggs. I think there's truth to all of them, but they're not, you can't take it literally.
Yes. I mean, yes, I agree with you on that.
But I like
Enneagram more than the astrology. I guess that's how I feel about it.
You can also be a performer in different ways that are maybe immediately. Yeah,
unless I'm reading the wrong one.
I'm learning this.
Yeah, your performance is implicit, not explicit.
Am I reading the wrong thing? Because all the Enneagram things that I see says a 3 is called the achiever. You're an achiever.
Well, what's that about, yeah. Achiever / performer.
Okay, well, I'm looking right here. It says a 3 is a liar. You seem like you're lying. That's crazy.
It's right next to a picture of Santos. Okay.
Oh, it's right. Oh my God, he was a 3 too.
Santos was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just depending on the day.
Yeah.
Apparently, I don't know shit about it.
All right.
I love it.
How long did it take to do that test? I'll do it for you, and we'll talk about it.
No, it takes too long, man. It takes way too long, and it probably costs $15.
Fuck that. I gotta go.
You gotta donate to that charity.
You did Didn't they do the Myers-Briggs with you? I give you the Myers-Briggs one.
Yeah, but I don't believe the Myers-Briggs one kind of bugs
Are you
me.
About to tell me you think the Enneagram? Oh my God.
I think Enneagram is more.
Jeez, dude. Wow, we'll have a private meeting about it. It's
man.
I hate to tell you, they're all based on the same thing. So
that is very funny that you were like, this personality test.
I've read so many books on this, man.
Whatever.
I know you have. That last page.
I've read so many books about this.
That's great.
All right.
Now I feel it in my bones. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Where's the stop button?
Oh, shit. We can't stop if you don't hit the stop button. We're here forever.
I literally can't find it.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Okay, I'm going up top.
Joe and